Hello friends, today we will discuss about different mutations and variants of SARS-CoV-2 virus. I will try to make it very easy to understand for all of you and just discuss the basic aspects so all of you can get it. I hope at the end of the video you all are able to know how mutation occurs, how variants are born and how we all can stop further mutation. So let's begin with the structure of the virus. Actually, structure is very important thing to know to understand the mutations. This virus is actually a bunch of various proteins together and having single stranded RNA as a genetic material, where codes are accumulated in the RNA to generate all these proteins. But for the clinical purpose, just spike protein is very important for us. So we will see little bit more in depth for this spike protein. Spike protein or S protein is actually a trimer, means three molecules collectively make the whole protein. And each of this molecule means each monomer is having different regions on it. S1 region, S2 region and RBD means receptor binding domain. When virus enters into the human body, it goes through the respiratory tract and reaches to the alveoli in our lung, enters the human cells. For this process to happen, this RBD means receptor binding domain is the main part of the S protein, which actually binds with the ACE2 receptor on the alveolar cells of the lung. After this attachment of the RBD with ACE2 receptor, there is TMPRSS2 means transmembrane receptor protease 2 that makes the entry of the virus inside the cell. Oh, I think it's little confusing. Please don't leave the video. Let's make it simple. Just remember three things. Spike protein of the virus having three parts, S1, S2, RBD. The RBD attaches with the human cell's ACE2 receptor and activates the TMPRSS2, which makes the entry of the virus inside the human cell. Okay. Now with the entry of the virus into the cell, its main purpose, the purpose of the virus entry is making more and more number of viruses. And for this, two things to be happen. First, making copies of the RNAs and making proteins. But as a virus, it cannot be done by themselves. Host cell is required for this purpose, and that's why some bigger scientists assume that virus is a non-living organism, as they can't reproduce themselves by their own. Now we will see some basic concepts of structure of RNA and protein structure. RNA means ribonucleic acid. It contains a helical chain of sugars and phosphates with nuclear bases as their side attachments. This base can be cytosine, guanine, adenine or uracil. They are abbreviated as C, G, A or U respectively. The process of copying of RNA is called RNA replication. And for this process, an enzyme called RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, it is used, which is present there inside the host cell. One more thing I want to highlight here is sequential three bases of RNA makes a pair. It is called codon. That signifies the structure of protein, means which type of protein is going to be produced from this RNA gene. Now little more about the protein structures. Actually, proteins are a bunch of polypeptide, and these polypeptide is a chain of various amino acids. And during production of these proteins, the sequence of amino acid is decided by the codons present on the RNA. There are total 20 types of amino acids. They can be abbreviated by 3 letters or 1 letter system. We can see in the table. You can see this in detail by pausing the video. Now see how the sequence of amino acids are decided by the RNA codons. See here, first codon on RNA is GCU. Now see the table. here first letter is G, second is C, and third is U. So our first amino acid is alanine, and it can be abbreviated as ALA or just A. Now do the same for the other codons. Don't worry, I have completed the task for you. After that, we have a full chain of amino acids in a particular sequence. This chain makes a polypeptide, and these different polypeptide chains make one protein molecule. This whole process of polypeptide production happens inside the ribosome. Ribosome is one organelle inside the host cell. In this specific sequence of amino acids make some specific proteins. Now we have enough polypeptide chains, we have enough proteins, enough number of copies of RNAs. So with all this, one organelle named Golgi apparatus comes in action and do proper packaging of all these ready-made products and make new viruses ready to go outside the cell. Let's just do a very quick revision of the whole process. This is the host cell. One virus is coming to infect the cell. First of all, virus spike protein, specifically say RBD, means receptor binding domain, binds with the ACE2 receptor and activates the TMPRSS2, which is present on the cell surface, that makes the entry of the virus inside the cell. Then lysosome separates the original virus RNA and proteins separately. Then RNA dependent RNA polymerase makes the number of copies of RNA. Then ribosome makes the proteins and polypeptide chains from the RNA codons. Then Golgi apparatus makes the final sorting and packaging of all these RNAs and proteins, these ready-made materials, and then final exit from the cell by the neuraminidase enzyme. I think now it's a little bit easier for all of you. All this process continuously going on and makes a number of copies of the viruses and infects the nearby cell and continue the same process. Some of them also goes outside from the body and infect the other person also, and the same process continues. Here the main part comes. During making this number of copies of the viruses, it can be very little, but although chances of error are always there. See the first codon here, as we have already seen, which is GCU and which is compatible for the alanine. Assume if on the second place by mistake in the new RNA, by mistake there is a G in present of C. So now codon is GGU, and which is compatible for the glycine. So you can see from the previous table how to match the compatible amino acid from the RNA codon. So finally the protein made from this is having the first amino acid glycine instead of alanine. Mainly small errors can be negotiable and they are not clinically important, but sometimes this error can lead to change in the property of the viruses. They are important. These errors, or specifically say mutations in a scientific world, there can be of three types: substitution, deletion, or insertion. What we have seen in the example, that is substitution of alanine with the glycine in the first place of the chain. It can be deletion of some acids from the chain, or it can be insertion of some new amino acids inside the chain. That is how a small change can lead to newer type of variant of the virus production. There are some specific mutations identified which can lead the variant to some changes in their behavior which can be harmful for the human being. Many mutations are noticed till now. Some of them are narrated here and some important ones are highlighted. Mostly important behavior changes are due to mutations inside the spike protein. Some mutations make change in the RBD region. They can lead to the easy attachment of the RBD with ACE2 receptor, which leads to easy entry of the cells, increase viral replication, increase infection, increase production of new viruses, so high viral load, and ultimately more transmission of the virus. Some mutation make change in S1 region, increases the activity of the TMPRSS2, so it also increases the entry of the viruses inside the cell and also increase the transmissibility of the viruses. Some mutations make change in the S2 region. It leads to evasion of the antibodies, means it makes difficult for antibodies to attach with them and nullify them, which may be present either due to vaccination or due to previous infection. Wait, but the good news is that antibody binding with the antigen requires at least length of 6 amino acids. So, only one substitution cannot completely evade the effect of the antibodies. It can just decrease their efficiency, but cannot make them completely inactive. That is why the vaccination is so much important for all of us, and we all should be vaccinated. Now onwards, we will see the presently known variants of the virus and their some significance. There are more than 400,000 plus mutations are identified among the various labs across the world. They are classified into 3 types. First is variant of interest. They are variants with specific mutations that are predicted, they are assumed to affect the transmission, diagnostics, therapeutics, or affect the immune aspect. They are identified in various labs and having potential to cause outbreak anytime, so they are under strict observation. The second one is variant of concern. As the name itself suggests, they are real concerns for the human being. They are the variant with specific evidence. The world is evidence. There are specific evidence of an increased transmissibility, more severe disease with increased hospitalizations, significant reduction in neutralization by antibodies, and reduced effectiveness of the treatments or the vaccination. And the last is variant of high consequence. They can cause very severe disease and vaccination might not be effective at all. But the best part is none of such variant has been identified till now. Here are very few virus of interest are narrated in the table. There are many, but few are mentioned here. We can see the latest one, Lambda. It is found in just June 2021. There are mainly 4 variants of concern which are listed here, named Alpha, Beta, Gamma and Delta. Their virion lineage and mutations are also mentioned here. Here you can see D614G mutation is present in almost all of them. It's a substitution at the 614th amino acid. D means aspartic acid by G means glycine. This is the main mutation which make this virus capable to infect the human beings. Other specific mutations in the specific variants are also highlighted. Here you can note beta variant having the specific mutation of K417N, which makes them stronger against the monoclonal antibody treatment. And in delta variant, specific mutation of L453R is present, which makes them very easily transmissible. And delta variant is the one which created the second wave of the disease in India in the April and May 2021. And we all know how faster it was spread. Now assume if these 2 mutations are combined, what will happen? That is nothing but the Delta Plus variant, which is all around today in the media across the world, having both of this mutation K417N and L453R, which makes it more and more easily transmissible and much stronger to evade the antibodies. So it is also a variant of concern for the human being. From all these things I explained till now, it is understandable that mutations and production of variants is an endless process. If viruses continue to copy themselves, mutations and newer variants production, it will be continue. But we all know virus can't copy by self. It requires some host cells for the process. So it is easy to understand that if we can reduce the copying process, means if we can reduce the viral replication, chances of occurrence of natural mutations can be hampered. And it can be done very easily. Just maintain social distancing, wear mask, strengthening our immunity and vaccination. Simply, we must not provide our human cells to the viruses to use them as their replication centers. That's it. So friends, that's all for today. I hope you all enjoy the video. Thank you so much. We pray for the good health of all of you and your family. Please do share, like or comment on the video and subscribe to our channel. Till then, goodbye, think less, do more and always be happy for being healthy.